Hey,
Yeah.
what's going on, John?
Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm okay.
Glad to see you today. Someone's late.
Well,
Interesting. Yes.
yeah. Oh, we miss him already. Gosh, from a bygone era.
Well.
Hello, sir.
That was very sad news.
It was
Yeah.
very sad news.
Yes.
So, with that tribute to Bushwhacker Butch,
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to welcome everybody to episode 132 of Two Noobs Talking, the podcast you won't touch with a 10-foot pole.
Mm.
Well, he is, one of these he's is justifiably John Tracy. The other is
Legally.
magnanimously Matt Craig, illegally.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
My identity was confirmed today when someone took a picture of my license and said, "Identity confirmed." I was like, "Cool, I exist. That's awesome."
Always good. Now look, I exist only in your mind as Steve
Yes.
Murray.
Yes.
So,
only. I haven't
John.
physically seen this dude forever.
The magic of electrons. John, out down there in Texas, how you loving that new Samsung phone?
I'm loving it. It flips and shit.
Beauty.
Just so everybody can see. But I'm looking
Look at
something.
that.
I'm
Oh,
trying
my
to look
gosh.
something up as we're talking. So
I'm gonna see if I could try and do that right now with my iPhone.
I try to do that all the time with my old iPhone.
Not really working. Sorry.
No.
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Matt, Mr. Matt, how are you doing over there now that John's gaslighting you with his phone?
All is good. All is well. Tip though, never do a hit session. It's just absolutely brutal. This message brought to you by Matt Craig, who is over 40 years old. So there you go.
I
was
just
bad.
What now?
It was bad today. Yeah.
I just decided to get
what's-
fat. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with my decision.
What's a hit session?
A hit session is a high intensity interval training workout. So what you do is you run very fast, and then you also do squats and body weights and all kinds of really unnecessary type of physical activity. So that at the end of the day, you can't move for like at least a couple of hours.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
what dumbass came up with this plan?
That would be my local gym. Actually, it would be the LA Fitness gym in King of Prussia, who decided to do it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be an idiot and sign up for it. Why not? So there you go. But no, it's helped me lose a lot of weight, which is really, really good. I used to be like 220 something or other, and now I'm like 190 something. So, I mean, it's paid off
Awesome.
in that regard. I just don't like coming out of it because I can't move. That's all. And I want my instructor to just realize that, as you know, he continues to say, I need you to do an ab workout at the end of it. And no, no.
I don't think he's emotionally invested in how you feel.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think he's gaslighting me.
I'm going to take your advice and not do that.
There you go.
So in any event, as we always do here on Two Noobs, we're going to do our fun fact and over 40 rant, both of which are brought to you by Dubby Energy Drinks. Visit dubby.gg. That's DUBBY, just like Tubby, but with a D.
Yes.
Go there and enter a promo code of Two Noobs Talking. That's TOO Noobs, NOOBS Talking, and get 10% off your order. I know Matt's been pushing the blueberry forever, but I'm going to recommend that you go for something else, like the Push and Punch or the Beach and Peach.
Or the big
Energy-
Energy
Ooh.
Tears energy drink tub for $39.99. How about that
Big-
right there?
Big
Nice.
Energy Tears is what I picture coming out of you from these hit sessions.
100%. Yeah.
The Beach and Peach sounds phenomenal. I'm a big peach fan.
Yeah.
That sounds phenomenal.
Well, hey, get 10% off by listening to me. What are you going to do? All right, John, what's your fun fact for this week?
So just because I like Matt so much and I look up Lego facts all the time because I like to pop them off air too, not just on air. Like I
Let's do it, man.
I do. This one came across a couple times and we never put it on. So I figured today, what better day than today?
Why not?
Lego is technically the world's #1 tire manufacturer
Oh, there you go.
because it
Yeah.
produces over 300 million tiny tires.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's quantity of tire, not volume of rubber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. That's
That
why
sounds about right.
that's why I led with technically because
Well, I mean, here are
it
four
could.
right here.
Yes.
I mean, you got four right
Yeah.
there in the DeLorean. So
Now we only
yeah.
Now, well,
need.
yeah, but are they rubber like, or are they hard, or what are? I mean, what's the
They
texture
are
of those?
a rubberized material. I will say that.
From what I was reading along with this technically, that they literally produce rubber tires. Like they're considered rubber tires. They're not.
That's
They can't fit
interesting.
on your car, but they're considered in the tire
Yeah.
class,
Well, yeah, sure.
There you
If they have rubber, certainly.
and they
I
roll.
think that would qualify.
That probably
they
fits
roll.
right in the tire class.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
So Matt's got his dander up, so let's get his over 40 going here.
Hell
Oh
yes.
my gosh, where to even begin? But I would say this: debates at colleges and universities. What the hell?
I agree
It just-
100%.
There you go. That's it, everybody. No.
We're done.
I don't know about you guys. I know Steve, of course, going to law school. I went to Temple University with a business degree. John, you never went to college. Be thankful, I think, right? You've
Yes, I
never
was
gone to
not
any sort of
interested.
university. Thank God. You might be the smartest one of the three of us to have
That
done
sounds
that. But I will say this: the amount of vitriol.
Oh, look at that, Jinx.
Jinx.
said it
That's a
first.
good chemistry. That's good chemistry right there, guys. No, the amount of vitriol that is now being said, espoused, vocalized, and in some instances coming down to, physical altercations at our major colleges and universities is really appalling. And it's pretty clear to me that instead of actually having a debate with class and dignity, we have a bunch of people that really have no clue really on how to to go about the proper decorum on how to actually debate somebody that disagrees with you. And even then it's like, whether or not it's political gaslighting or not, you kick those people out. But from really the understanding is, like, to really properly debate somebody, you have to understand that person's point of view so that you essentially defend that person's point of view while also coming across as, showing why your position is the better position of the two. You never downgrade, you never diminish anyone else's differing points of view because they disagree with you. In that regard, all three of us on this podcast, I know we don't all hold the same opinions in that regard, but there is enough decorum and class in this podcast where if we do come across that, we understand that other person's position and are willing to defend that person's position. I am very frustrated with everything that goes on in the colleges and universities now, and I want to see them change. There's Over 40 Rant brought to you by Matthew Craig, or Craig Matthews.
Either way.
What do you guys think in that regard? I'm pretty much done with all this.
I have a good start to this. This we can take this to. It's just not the colleges. This is what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with the MVP race with in the NBA with Jokic and Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it online. There are still people that are Jokic is the MVP. It doesn't matter what Joel Embiid does. And then there's the other side. Joel Embiid's about to win his second scoring title. Doesn't that make him? I think Bob Cousy was the last one to do that, to win the scoring title back to back. He
Years. Yeah.
But what you see, you don't see debate anymore. What you see is you see Jokic
No.
fans fighting Embiid fans, and that's it. Like there's no common ground. There's no I'll take Joel here or I'll take Jokic here, but I won't take him here.
Mm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think people know how to have a conversation or a debate about it. I think it's just
Yeah.
it's that's my team or that's my guy. Screw you. I don't care. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
about your opinion. And I think that you're seeing that in the colleges. I think you're seeing that on TV. I think you're seeing it everywhere. People aren't willing to debate because they don't care about the other person's opinion because their opinion's right and that's how they live their life. And
Yeah.
you know what? That's fine as long as you're not on my TV or on my internet or anywhere near me because I don't want to hear BS like that. And that's why I don't
Yeah.
spend a lot of time there.
It would be one thing if you're able to articulate your debate, but if you basically say, "Well, I don't want to hear from you because you disagree with my opinion," while not offering your own opinion, well, then
Mhm.
what are you doing? Like what?
Yeah.
Like what? What's the point of that? Like, oh, your feelings were hurt. Well, I'm really sorry. Should I pat you on the head and say there? Like seriously, I mean, the feelings can't trump. Sorry, pardon the pun. Feelings can't
Oh,
trump. Ha
I
ha
thought we
ha
were done
ha.
with those. Come on.
Feelings can't, go over
Yes.
what, facts say and all that kind of stuff. Do I think that there are some facts that, I disagree with? Oh, heck yeah. But that doesn't mean that my feelings are hurt because it's like, oh, I'm wrong, and oh no, what am I gonna do? And no, my feelings are not being, accounted for, and how can that be? And blah, 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 blah. I don't. I'm done with it. I'm just done with it. Grow the hell up. Seriously, honestly, grow the hell up, and stop trying to, go out there and get people pissed off and all that kind of stuff. It's not, and this goes on both sides of the aisle. Like
Mhm.
your Ben Shapiro's, your Matt Walsh's. I mean, they're assholes. They are. I'm sorry, and it's just that's who they are. Personality wise, I wouldn't even want to have like maybe a beer. I'd sit down and have a beer with those guys, but I wouldn't listen to them like every single day. It's ridiculous. Um, with the kind of things that they espouse and things like that. They only do it to get people pissed off. Maybe that's something that's wrong with them in that regard. I could go on.
But Matt, I see all over the place that they just owned somebody, for arguing something.
Yeah.
That's
That
not
they-
true.
that they practiced every day. They practiced their answer because if you notice,
In front of a mirror every day.
you'll see
Yeah.
you'll see the outtakes of that where when they don't get their point in, they call the person back. I got one more thing. Because I forgot to get my own. It's all dumb, and that's the craze that's taking over the internet right now, which is insane. And it's way more conservative than it is liberal.
Yeah.
These conservative think tanks that they literally go to liberal colleges. I don't even understand why people are paying to go there. That has to be
Yeah.
free. There's no way that people are paying to go see them. It's
You have to
bizarre.
ask
Like there's
yourself,
something
like,
wrong
what's
with
the
you
point
if
of
you're
that?
going to they're talking on script. It's just like seeing a comedian. It's just not funny.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept. They're running on a script. If you see Chris Rock and you see Ben Shapiro, same exact background is what is happening.
Mhm.
They book a date, they write a script, they stay on script.
Yeah.
That's all it
Yeah.
is. It's not reality in any way.
No.
To pay for that would be it makes no sense.
Makes no sense. Yeah, I agree. So,
All right. Well, the beautiful thing about the law is when you don't like the facts, you file a motion to change the facts.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's how we do things in the legal world.
Yes.
there you go.
But speaking of sucking, moving to topic one.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Hmm.
SoFi article here. American vacations are shrinking.
Hmm.
We are visiting micromolecules now. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm reading the script of that what's that Fantastic Voyage movie. The American vacations are shrinking. Taking less time off. A flurry of recent studies show that Americans are taking less time off for sick, personal, and vacation days than ever before.
Mm.
During any given week in the 1980s, about 3.3% of the population was on vacation. Today, this metric has dropped by around half to just 1.7%.
Mm.
The decrease doesn't appear to be due to employers offering less paid time off. In fact, 90% of full time employees in the private sector have access to paid vacation time. Still, 46% of employees reportedly decline to use their full allotment of time off.
Mm.
Matt, you brought this story to our attention. What caught your eye here?
Really, the decrease in the amount of time being taken off has dropped from 3.3 to 1.7. I think, to me, that's stunning. That's literally 50%, almost 50%. And it's, it just makes you wonder, like, why. And then we hear about the other articles about, like, oh, people are being overworked and all that kind of stuff. Well, maybe you might want to take a break. I'm just saying, off the top of my head. Um, but it does make me wonder, like, why would that be the case? I wonder, part of it could be maybe a little bit of COVID, tentativeness, I guess, going to another spot that you haven't been to in a while. It's like, I don't really want to put up with it, maybe. But
I don't
and
know. I
I've
don't
heard
know that
also things
that's
about, yeah, I don't know about that either. I'm just throwing it out there, spitballing. But it makes me also wonder too about unlimited PTO. I have that in my organization, and basically just providing a heads up to let my boss know, hey, FYI, I'm planning to take this week off. I have to let her know at least about a month or a couple of weeks in advance that I'm taking a week off and stuff like that, so that way she can plan her calendar. That has turned out to be more harm than good in some other organizations, in that regard. So I don't really know what the answer is, why people are feeling like they need to take time off. I know all three of us do at one point, during the year. I love it. I love going away from the office, and I hate working all the time, to be perfectly honest. I need time to get away, refresh the mind, go back in. Okay, next thing, that kind of when I come back. I don't know.
I have seen previously that there have been studies that said when companies offer unlimited time, people are less likely to take it.
Yeah.
Which is sort of counterintuitive. But the article does go on to give some potential reasons why the employees are choosing not to take vacations. Apparently, it typically depends on role, income level, and position in the company. So lower income employees tend to worry more about the risk to their jobs if they take too much time away, while higher income workers aren't more likely to take time off. They simply don't, for different reasons. For these workers, working for a larger part of each year probably has less to do with job risk and more with falling behind on work. Another theory as to why U.S. workers today are taking less time off is that many employers now categorize vacation days, sick days, and personal days under a single umbrella. The small tweak might make employees less inclined to take time off. Employees may be cautious of taking too many days for vacation in case they get sick. And if they get sick, they're more likely to force themselves into the office to save PTO for vacation time. John, what kind of vacation policy or paid time off, I guess, policies under the general umbrella do you get, and how much do you take advantage of that?
I think this year, at the beginning of the year, I got 21 days vacation PTO all wrapped up into one. The thing I've noticed in the last couple of years is I have it's a use it or lose it, but you can carry 5 days over. And it seems like every year for the last 5 years, I've punted 5 days. Like, just because I can, almost like I'm winning or something, and I'm really not. I just didn't take 5 days off every year. Part of it is I work in an area. Me personally, I work in an area where I'm the only one that covers the area, so I like to not take early vacation so I can get ahead to take vacation. Because when I've crews below me and above me that do come into my area and mop up and do, what I can't do if I were to take a vacation day. So the company's not like, you can't have time off. Like, they encourage time. They're happy when you take time off because they know you come back refreshed, you're gonna do more work. My company is one of the best that understands, giving people time off and refreshing their minds. They see the value in that. They see how the work picks back up as soon as they come back. So they are awesome at that.
Mm.
I never worked in a business prior to this one that ever cared about you ever.
Mm.
Like, maybe it was 2 weeks vacation, and if you took it, you were the worst human being in the world. What do you mean you're gonna take off
Mm.
in,
Mm.
July when nothing happens in this business? I used to hear that stuff all the time. Like, they'd be confused, like, "Why are you taking off now?" "It's because I don't wanna be here anymore. I've been here for 6 months straight. I don't wanna see your
Good reason.
face." Yeah, I don't wanna see your face. That's exactly why I'm taking vacation, and
Yeah,
I used to
exactly.
have that kind of volatile feeling towards company back then.
Mm.
Now
Mm,
I
mhm.
know that I could, Monday morning send an email to HR and my boss and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take April whatever to April whatever. I'm gonna take 5 days off. I'm just gonna relax, hang out with the family." I would get one email back, all set. It's already on the calendar. Have a
Mm.
have a have a nice. First of all, they thank you for your service. They thank you. Have a nice day, and also enjoy your time off.
There you go.
But still,
Yeah.
I don't take advantage of it like I should if you're thinking about it.
Mm.
Like, I don't take all 20 days off. What I'll do is I'll take a day here and there. I'll use it for sick time. And then I'll
Mhm.
take 1 week off. It's normally when I'm ready to not want to go to work anymore. And I'm like, you know what? I need to take a couple days off because I'm getting mad at just getting up. So I should probably take a couple days off. And then, like I said,
Good
I
sign.
I always take the week of Christmas off. It's just
Yeah.
something I've done all the time, but that always leaves me at the end of the year with 5 days not used, and I always punt it to the next year. I don't know why. When you sent this article over, I'm trying to figure out all week. I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure, why do I do that? Like, what am I
Yeah.
saving? What am I doing? Am I bettering my own life? Am I bettering their? What am I doing? So it's
Yeah.
cool that you brought this article because now I'm rethinking my own life. Maybe I'm gonna take some time off. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows? Yeah,
I think
exactly.
the article does hit a little bit on one of the people's fears is, and I think it's looking inward. They're afraid if I go on vacation and the
Mm.
company is able to function without me, then it's like, well, we don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm
I,
gonna lose my
I,
job.
I live with that feeling. It is not true.
Yeah.
There's a company will function with 6 of the dumbest human beings ever birthed on this earth. A company will function. They will not function at the same level, but they will function. It's very
Yeah.
easy. It's very easy to get people to work. But that what you're saying, Steve, that's inside. You have to
Mhm.
fix that
Yes.
on the inside because if you
Correct.
don't know your value in your own company, you're it's a disservice. I was like that for many years. I understand my value. I can take a week off. I know the clock is still going to tick. They're still going to get stuff done. Are they going to get it done at the level that I do it in my area at my time? Probably not. But that's because I know the value that I put into it. Are they going to get it
Mm.
done? And also, you got to know someone might come in it and do it better, and that's not on you. That means that
Mhm.
person is better at what they do. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with you. Don't ever take that on, because if someone completes a job better than you should probably learn from that person, not be afraid that you're going to be replaced.
Excellent point. Excellent point. You're right on, John, because yeah, I think that is a definite fear, especially if you're younger. Because you're
Mhm.
thinking like, oh gosh, well, okay, well, if I leave for a week to go down on the shore, whatever, and you come across and you're thinking like, oh gosh, what's going to happen? What if I come back and I get fired? Well, I mean,
You work
first of all,
for
you shouldn't be in a company and
Yeah,
be
you
like
work for a
that.
shitty company if that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
B, shame on you because you're not present with your family while you're down the shore.
Yeah.
And that
yeah.
sucks.
And everything that I've heard, I don't know about you guys, with your organizations, Steve, I'll ask you this question. It's like, it's always been about the work life and family life, making sure that is in balance. Yeah, that kind of a deal. I know that's like LinkedIn HR speak.
I hate those things.
If you're Jeff Bezos, it's a work-life circle.
Whatever.
If you know what I mean. So but it is important. It is important to take time away.
Absolutely.
Most companies don't want you to continually work all the time. You need the time to step back and just breathe. And it is really good to do that. It's good for your mind, good for your own body. And dare I say for the soul too, just to allow the body and the mind to relax, then dive back in with a fresh set.
It is always important to at least take one day off of work, to gaslight Matt. Getting paid, for that day off to do that is just fantastic.
Hell yeah.
But we're moving on to topic 2 anyway. And it's actually sort of, kind of related.
Speaking of gaslighting.
Huffington Post article here. What Biden's junk fee crusade could mean for travelers.
Crusade.
Leading the charge, running the wrong direction, but he's leading the charge.
Definitely, if you've seen those videos of him running out of the White House, they're hilarious. Sometimes he doesn't know where
tripping
he's
on
going.
the stairs or whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
U.S. presidents, gentlemen, don't usually wade into the minutia of airline seat selection. Yet that's exactly what President Joe Biden did during his State of the Union address earlier this year, which I didn't even watch. Spending nearly 2 minutes of the speech decrying junk fees.
Huh.
As he said, we'll prohibit airlines from charging $50 round trip for a family just to be able to sit together. Baggage fees are bad enough. Airlines can't treat your child like a piece of baggage. Wow, I can't believe he put 2 coherent sentences together like that.
Yes. And they do.
2 that I actually agree with.
Yeah, I completely agree with him. They absolutely treat families like baggage.
Yeah,
absolutely. The past decade has seen an explosion in the sophistication with which airlines, hotels, and vacation rentals earn additional revenue through add-on fees. Yet travelers and the politicians who represent them may have had enough. Lauren Wolf, counsel at the traveler advocacy group Travelers United, has said consumers have been fed up with this for some time. Americans shouldn't have to deal with deceptive drip pricing, referring to the practice in which fees are added throughout the checkout process rather than disclosed up front.
That's part of trickle-down economics right there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, man, there's a Croc fee. You're wearing Crocs on the plane? We need aerodynamics.
$15 right now.
$15 because you're wearing Crocs.
As we were discussing this in pre-production, the thought that occurred to me was, I don't know necessarily that it's the price tag itself. In some cases, that may be. That's the outrageous part. The outrageous part is the deception behind it.
Absolutely.
You advertise your flight for $89, and then I get to checkout and it's $157.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks later, when I go to get my seat, oh, you want an extra $50 for me to sit anywhere but the last row of the plane with the baggage handlers. What the hell?
This over 40 rant brought to you by Steve Murray.
John, what you do a lot of traveling. You stay in hotels a lot. I don't know that you fly all that often, but I mean, you've had a similar experience.
I used to fly a ton.
What's your experience with this add-on crap?
I didn't see. Absolutely. I got into the game late in my adulthood of travel. I didn't do a lot of traveling when I was younger. I'm blown away. But I've taken Spirit Airlines. I've taken whatever that the one that might crash, Southwest. I've flown on American, Delta. I've flown on pretty much all of them. They all have their own little way to screw you just as you're about to book the flight.
Sounds like gaslighting to me.
American and Delta probably being the worst because they don't. The price that you get at the start isn't even close to the price you get at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing for Southwest, I know that the planes might not even be able to fly, but they at least give you a price close enough.
Yeah. Gosh, you're right on, Johnny.
Well, but the hotels do the same. The hotels do the same things. I book a hotel for, let's just say I'm going down to the valley at the end of the month. I looked at a hotel. I like to book between $80 and $100. That's what my company allows me to. I looked at 3 hotels. I clicked; they were in that price range. But by the time I got to book it, it was $25 more. And I was like, well, the company's not going to okay that, so I can't stay there. Like, because it's like, oh, well, we don't have the queen size room that we told you was $80. Only have a king size with an elephant in it. That's going to be an extra $150 because there's an elephant. And you can book it now. And it's like, they get people that way because they're not looking at that. They're looking at the sticker price, just like, I'll give you a prime example of something that doesn't have to do with this. I refused to buy something at the grocery store because it was mislabeled. Turns out, when I looked at it online, it was only mislabeled. But it was something that should be $4. It was $7. And I'm like, I'm not buying that for $7. I'm going to go somewhere else and get that. But talking about it with my wife, I looked it back up online. It wasn't that sticker price. But that's how they get you. They show you the 80 and then they charge you 150.
Well, so that's part of this article about how we got here. The a la carte model of offering low initial prices with fees for add-ons became commonplace in the internet search area. Customers using online search tools to book travel were looking for the cheapest option, which incentivized budget airlines such as Spirit and Frontier to offer low base fares with costlier add-on fees. Jay Sorensen, president of IdeaWorks company and airline consulting firm, says you have low-cost carriers competing by offering lower fares, and traditional airlines attempt to ignore that threat as long as possible, but at some point the dam bursts and they have to compete with the low-cost carriers. So you're seeing that big number in the search bar, and you're like, oh boy, and then you see the little number when you go to put in the credit card information at the end, and there you go. Now, changes are already afoot. So Biden is attempting to fix this. Airlines are tried to be preemptive about it, have eased seat selection fees, which have caused confusion and expense for travelers, especially for families. United Airlines, bless their heart, recently introduced new features to let children under age 12 sit next to an adult without extra fees.
Yay!
That's so lovely of them.
How
And low-cost carrier Frontier Airlines launched a similar feet for children under 14.
There you go.
Oh,
One step at a time, baby.
One step at a time. Yet Sorensen argues it may be too little too late to avoid government intervention. Airlines are not going to do this on their own, and the hotels are probably less likely even to move on without the government intervention.
Yeah.
Matt, what's your take on all this nonsense?
It's 100% outrageous. I feel like I should go on a Jackie Childs rant. Outrageous. All that kind of stuff. What he usually does. I think it would be
you need a thesaurus to Jackie Childs rant.
Preposterous, that kind of a deal. Imagine just him and Kramer going after the airlines. It would be hilarious.
Please. Give me that an
it's
hour.
just like going for looking at there's a link inside of the article and we looked it up. It's on nerdwallet.com, and they talk about like how to avoid said fees, and these are my favorites. So here are some tips to minimize these pesky fees. You want to hear them, guys?
Sure. Please.
The first thing you should do is you should pay with points at brands that waive resort fees for reward stays, like Hilton and Hyatt. Hilton is kind of meh. Hyatt's kind of meh, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, that's not too bad.
But
I
what they
guess.
don't tell you there is you have to spend the money. You have to stay at the Hilton
Yeah.
Yep.
at their outrageous resort fees to get the points
Yep.
to then stay at the Hilton
Yep.
using the points.
Yeah.
That totally defeats the purpose.
Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of a, circle of life,
Right.
Steve, in that regard. Second, look for a search option on a hotel website or app to, quote, show rate and taxes and fees, or similar. This will help compare real prices directly and avoid the hassle of clicking through to the final checkout windows.
Now, that is something I have to commend Verizon for. Because cable was another one of those where it's like, yeah, $89.99 a month.
Yeah.
And then tack on. You get your
Tack
first
on,
bill.
tack
You're
on.
like, why the hell am I paying $150 now?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, it's
every
called fees and et cetera and all
Right.
that kind of stuff that's not talked
now,
about.
every couple years when I have to like re-up with them to upgrade or whatever, before I sign off on the new contract, they tell me exactly what I'm going to be paying per month.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's usually, as John pointed out, it's usually even a little bit higher. It's lower than what they tell me.
Yes.
Yeah.
But maybe like $1 or $2, which is a nice feel-good feature.
Absolutely.
But
They've
at least
learned-
they're
they've learned
telling
that-
you.
Yeah, they've learned the design of that. Of give it a little higher, and everybody will be
Right.
happy. Nobody calls it.
Exactly. And the third tip to minimize pesky resort fees and etc., you can always ask the front desk to waive it. Boy, isn't that an interesting conversation?
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I'd like to have this this fee waived, please, is what he was trying to say. Well, since you can't speak English, no, I can't have you waive these fees. No, I'm not.
I'm not waiving
them
your
for you.
fee. You're coming up acting like an idiot. You waive these fees? No. How about no?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it is completely
That's bad
and
advice, by
utterly
the way.
ridiculous.
That's bad advice
Oh,
by
there you
that
go.
writer. That is bad
Yeah.
advice.
Shame on you, Nerd Wallet.
Yeah.
Okay.
The chances of that happening are like less than 5%, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to happen
Sure.
in that regard. Because you're going to hear some excuse. Well,
you do-
I
you-
mean, we have to pay for the eggs, and the eggs are already expensive in
you
a
were-
hotel bar.
But if you are a constant traveler, and this is something that I know because I spend a large quantity of time in certain places.
Yep.
The humanity of
I exist.
people
in other
will
words.
no, but people will like at the same place. I mean, like the front desk person. Like I can drive to Houston right now, right tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and normally that front desk person would be like, "Hey, what's going on?" Because I just saw you a couple months ago, and
Yeah.
I get treated well. I wouldn't. My advice: I wouldn't push it if you're just traveling there for the first time. Don't act like you know when it like I travel a lot, so I know the hotel I'm staying in. I know the people. I know what I can get away with. I know I can check in late. I know X, Y, and Z because I spent a lot of time with them. Don't take the advice on the internet that says, "Oh, just run in there like you own the place." You're probably not going to have a good time. I'm just saying, like you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's the part that really bothered me was this whole thing about the airlines. The seat selection fee that's just incredibly stupid.
It
Yeah.
is dumb.
And it's a total cash grab for that. I can understand the bag fees, right? Because you're loading the plane down, the more suitcases you put on, so there's going to be added fuel costs, etc.
You got to
That I
pay more
understand.
people to put it on. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, to have to pick a seat and to make you pay for that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like seriously. And
Yeah.
the family thing is what really bugged me because, like,
Mhm.
are you really going to make somebody who's traveling with a 3-year-old pay an
Oh.
extra $50 so they can sit together, or are you going to create the problem on the plane where the two of them are sitting apart? You got the 3-year-old freaking out because they're separated from their parent.
Yeah.
How stupid is that?
Yeah.
And by the
It is.
way, last week I was in Houston. So obviously I flew.
Mhm.
When did they stop with the, parents with small children get to board early?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
in
That blows my
I boarded
mind.
group 7. I was in group 7.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
So I had to board after the one-legged weasels born under the right side of a
Which
watermelon.
possibly there possibly could have been an 8, but might not have been an 8. Like,
Exactly.
Steve might have been the last person on the plane.
There were 9 groups.
Okay.
There were 9 groups. I was 7. Okay. Which
Okay.
that's
So
still pretty
you
late.
were
I'm tapping my boarding pass and then waiting at the door to get onto the freaking thing to take me to the door to the plane.
Good Lord.
I am in my seat after boarding as a group 7, and I kid you not, at least 2 or 3 women walked by me with infants after that.
They should
Why
already be
were
on
they
the
not
plane.
allowed to board first?
Yeah.
What the hell?
The humanity
so
just
ridiculous.
the humanity of that just pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because we should elderly, women with small children, disabled, it's not rich and I could afford it. Like, shouldn't we get people on the plane? It's going to be a long plane ride. Shouldn't we get everybody comfortable before we start?
Shouldn't we get
One
the
would
people who are going to have difficulties?
Yep.
It makes more
somehow
sense.
with the flight. Oh, but no, instead, you've got our silver maximum douchebag credit card, so
Exactly.
you get to board the plane first, and sit in your seat and act like a tool the whole time while act aggravated while people with children walk by you.
Yep.
Does the silver maximum douchebag credit card, Steve, come with a 30% APR and $98 annual fee?
Most
Just
likely.
asking.
Most likely.
It does. It also gaslights you while you're flying.
And only works at certain airlines.
Oh, totally ridiculous. And that's why we're going into topic 3 to bring
I can't wait for this.
I know Matt's going to love this.
I love
we're
this.
bringing the aggression back down. We are calming ourselves now.
We're not
soothing.
We're not mad.
We're
not mad at all.
Pissed off at airlines or hotels anymore.
No, absolutely not.
But apparently some people at Samsung better watch their back because according to this tech radar, these Samsung guys should not be taking a vacation anytime soon.
Yes.
Because
You need to fix this shit.
Yeah, like right quick.
Yeah. Tech Radar article. Samsung workers made a major error by using ChatGPT. Well, using ChatGPT is a major error in and of itself, so I don't know what the point of that headline is.
Yeah.
But the subheading says that Samsung meeting notes and new source code are now in the wild after being leaked in ChatGPT.
Whoops.
Idiots.
Samsung workers have unwittingly leaked top secret data whilst using ChatGPT to help them with tasks. I don't know who could have saw this coming. Oh, I don't know. Me?
Duh. Your
Company
Google
allowed-
Pixel phone will now work like a Samsung next year. It's
Right? The
Oh,
company
man.
allowed engineers at its semiconductor arm to use the AI writer to help fix problems with their source code. But in doing so, the workers inputted confidential data, such as the source code itself for a new program, internal meeting notes data relating to their hardware. The upshot is that in just under a month, there were 3 recorded incidences of employees leaking sensitive information via ChatGPT. Since ChatGPT retains user input data to further train itself, these trade secrets from Samsung are now effectively in the hands of OpenAI, the company behind the AI service. Matt, I know you're thrilled with this news. What do you make of it?
There's 2 sides to this coin. One is, and I was astonished when I was going through my Lean Six Sigma training, that ChatGPT was talked about as a potential tool to use for Lean Six Sigma project. And you should have heard the amount of pushback that was talked about in this class. And like, this freaks me out was one phrase I heard. I don't think it should be used in this at all was another. And it was quite interesting in that regard. And I think the general consensus of the class was, don't use it. Don't use this until it has been perfected. And then the other side is just like, I feel for these engineers at Samsung. It's like, they're trying to use this technology and thinking that what they're doing is going to keep their confidential information safe, and it is not doing that. And all the more reason why this thing should be kicked into the Pacific Ocean, and if not there, definitely into the sun until it gets fully resolved. Honest to God. I mean, it is really awful.
The alternative is excessive. Like, I could totally see kicked in the Pacific Ocean.
I would think so. If you're a Samsung engineer, I would think
that's where you're Elon Musk at this point. Like, what are you going to do? You use a laser cannon and shoot that thing all the way into the sun?
Matt is strapping that thing to a rocket and hitting
wow.
Hell yeah.
Thank God Elon figured out how to land
really
them.
Worried about it. Honest to God, I think it is. Do I see it happening maybe in a couple, like maybe 10 years from now, maybe when it's finally perfected? Possibly. But right now, it is like, I think it is a plague, really, and should never really be concerned unless you know exactly what you're doing in that regard. But all the talk we've done with, whether it's Blunderbot with Facebook or this piece of shit, honest to God, don't use it until that technology has been perfected. I can't.
I think that's. We joke a lot about it's going to turn into a Terminator. Yeah. Well, not so much joke, but actually prophesize the future. But we laugh about that. But in all seriousness, the trust that people are putting into this thing, so early on in its development, is staggering to me.
Yeah.
Why are we trusting something like this that's on the internet?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to put confidential data into something on the internet. It's going to be kept safe. In other news, jumping in the ocean, you might drown. In response, Samsung Semiconductor is now developing its own in-house AI for internal use by employees. But they can only use prompts that are limited to 1,024 bytes in size, which is tiny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In one of the aforementioned cases, an employee asked ChatGPT to optimize test sequences for identifying faults in chips, which is confidential. However, making this process as efficient as possible has the potential to save chip firms considerable time in testing and verifying processors, leading to reductions in cost, too.
Hence the Lean Six Sigma application, as I was mentioning before.
I can see why you may want to use this if that's going to help.
Yes,
absolutely.
In another case, an employee used ChatGPT to convert meeting notes into a presentation, the contents of which were this is actually really stupid. The contents of which were obviously not something Samsung would have liked external third parties to have known. Samsung Electronics has sent out a warning to its workers on the potential dangers of leaking confidential information, saying that such data is impossible to retrieve as it is now stored on servers belonging to OpenAI. In the semiconductor industry, where competition is fierce, any sort of data leak could spell disaster for the company in question. All right, I could see somebody screwing up, I'm trying to test something. This could make it more efficient. But converting notes to a PowerPoint, guys, come on.
How lazy do you have to be?
Just type it into a freaking slide. John, you had some interesting insight with regards to Siri, which you have now abandoned in all of your phones.
Completely.
But I think it was interesting.
Speaking
I
of
left her in the corner where she belongs. As I peeled away, she's with somebody else now. Just joking.
How could you break up with her? Terrible.
So I did some research. I've always been enamored by Siri and how good that program was. It's on point. It's funny. You can get laughs out of it. You can get good information. You can get what you're looking for. Siri delivers. Mostly. It's not going to write a paper for you, but it's going to at least give you the top 10 websites of the article that you want to touch on. So Siri's great at what it does. That testing, this is what the research that I did. The testing was insane. Apple's been testing that for 11, 12 years before it even hit the market.
Isn't that amazing?
They were
Yeah.
making sure that
Mhm.
it didn't have any of this. That
Yeah.
it does not respond to curse words. It does not offend. It does not
Yeah.
it does not give you false information.
Yes.
It might give you limited information, but it's only because there's limited information online of the subject that you're talking about. Apple did a tremendous job.
Mhm.
This chat shit is I I can't believe people are this stupid. I really can't.
Yeah.
In all of our businesses, we have proprietary software we use.
Mhm.
I guarantee you.
Mhm.
And all of our listeners, I'm pretty sure everybody has something that we log into that the company created that can't go anywhere.
Mhm.
At least the people that I'm talking to right now, I don't think we ever came up with a let's put this into ChatGPT to see if I can better the company. That's dumb. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe Samsung did that. That is dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. Or at least didn't vet it out. To me, that
Yeah.
sounds like it wasn't properly vetted.
Yeah, you would go to your me personally. I would go to the IT department and say, "Hey,
Mhm.
I have this idea," and
Mhm.
they would do it because they know the parameters of the program and everything like that. I don't know shit about shit. I just know that their
Yeah.
program is theirs, and
Yep.
it's probably a bad idea to put their shit on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
not a good idea. I can't believe that Samsung might have grounds to fire them because that's important information that they put out there.
There's definitely disciplinary action, I would think, for
That's
sure,
bad.
Johnny, on that. But in terms of firing, I don't know because I mean, that's up to their HR department, to be honest with you. And this is something that I think if you interviewed those Samsung engineers privately, they probably said, "Yeah, okay, we wanted to use this," not thinking that this thing would essentially leak confidential company data out there. Now, still, if there's a violation in terms of their own corporate policy where you are not allowed to leak confidential information, then that's another separate issue, and would definitely be up for disciplinary action for sure. But I want to touch really quick on what you just said in terms of what Steve said about this, particularly when it came to patent law. Steve, I remember a couple weeks back talked about ChatGPT was like, I think, what was it, like one of your lawyer buddies, I think,
So
tried to
yeah,
talk about
yeah.
that real quick.
A former colleague of mine um tried to have I think it was ChatGPT, if not one of the other current ones that are floating around, tried
Mhm.
to have it do a validity analysis of a patent, and it returned some other patents that it said would have relevance to that analysis, and explained what each of those patents described. Well, as it
Mhm.
turned out, the patent numbers existed, but when you actually looked up those particular patent numbers, they had absolutely nothing to do with um, what the Chat GPT said it was about. So if ChatGPT said the patent was about a semiconductor chip, you went there and it was about like a fire hose or something. It's- It was basically how it went. And I've seen other lawyers on LinkedIn
Mm.
say they've
Mhm.
gotten similar results where they ask ChatGPT to do something and it basically makes some shit up and gives it to them. It
Yeah,
sounds
exactly.
real legit when you read it, but when you actually dig into the details, like, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
I saw recently on TikTok. There's this dude I follow. He does sandwiches of history. What he does is he goes back through old cookbooks and he makes stuff from the early teens, the 30s. He's a brilliant guy. He did a Chat GPT one where it was a sandwich of the future from the past and had it make up a recipe. That's, I think, the level that it should stay at, because
I
that
would
worked
agree.
out just fine. It doesn't, like it's the same thing as Siri. You're not trying to. Siri's not going to change the business. This
Right.
Chat GPT is not going to change the business. That comes with hard work, dedication, and working the facts. And I think that's the big lesson to be learned from the internet age is not all the answers are on the internet. We used to have a time where you actually, it had to come from your brain and research. And then you put it together and then it goes on the internet. Not all the answers are on the internet. And I think that's the thing to learn from this.
A current colleague of mine recently used an AI software. He was drafting a patent. He had it proofread it and check it for certain things.
Brilliant.
That, we would be checking for. Yeah. That's the kind of thing I could see where this type of tool might be useful.
Yes.
But he admitted, he's like, I would certainly not have it draft the patent application for me.
Agreed.
Wouldn't you have someone else proofread it? If you were to, let's just say we're using that in work, like sending some kind of form. You have it write it out. Wouldn't you immediately have someone else read it as well as you reading it? Like you would go over it and be like, "Hey, can you proofread this for me?" Just to make sense. I wouldn't trust a computer to do any of that.
Yeah. I would say also too on the Lean Six side of things, just for that, there are other very good and qualified programs out there that can help in that regard. I think ChatGPT, although it is, somewhat good, I would not use it. I would not use it at all to do any sort of project-related tasks unless it improves. And it has to drastically improve, gents. Like I said, has to just be much better than what it's going for.
People were impressed with it because I could say, all right, ChatGPT, draft me a non-disclosure agreement. And it would spit out a pretty good non-disclosure agreement. You know why? Because it probably has access to LegalZoom and went on their database and pulled one of their forms and rewrote it and gave it to you. So, yeah. Well, speaking of potentially garbage in and garbage out, I don't know what John has on this list. That's why I'm saying it.
Speaking of, I love these segues. I mean, we're going from one to another. See, we're writers. Damn it, we're much better writers at this. So there you go.
That's right.
Steve knows what he's doing.
feels like an Arby's night.
Yes, it does.
It does feel like an Arby's night.
Topic number 4. John has another tournament for us, and he's going weird chips. And we're not talking semiconductor chips. We're talking about eating chips, hence the garbage in, garbage out.
Doritos only.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Doritos only. Oh,
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Right. We all like the Dorito. You're not going to like much of this. But
no, boy.
I'm not a huge Dorito fan, but we'll go with it. So I turn it over to Mr. Tracy to explain how this one's going to work, because I don't think any of us have tried any of the chips on this list.
No, none of them.
John, let us know how this is going to work here.
Okay. I'm in the middle. Just for everybody that's been watching. So what we're doing is I grabbed chips from other countries that you cannot get here. So you guys have never seen them. Okay. You don't probably even know they exist. Neither did I. I had to go on specific websites to find these chips. I knew they were out there because the introduction of the first one that I'm going to give to Steve took the internet by craze, and I was like, man, there's got to be worse ones than this. So I went and found them. So this is a tournament of, I will give Matt and Steve matchups. And this is which one, even if they're both terrible, which one will you choose to open and try?
Wow. And so that will be the winner of that
particular That will be the winner of that bracket. Then move on. And
then we move on from there.
What is the freakiest chip that we would be forced to try because we have a bunch of chips that are terrible?
And will we have a vomit bag nearby?
Most likely. Okay.
Wow.
And if this goes well and gets a lot of views, I will buy these chips and we will try them.
Oh God.
Boy.
Just if it goes well. We don't know. It could be a trademark. But let's start with
if you force me to eat one of these chips, I will make you do the one chip challenge.
That's kind of what I thought of originally, but I won't do the one chip challenge. I'll tell you a quick story. I bought Carolina Reaper cheese, and me and my wife were having a conversation one Saturday, and I was like, I'm really in the mood for a grilled cheese. And she was like, you should try that Carolina Reaper cheese. Dude, I walked around this apartment crying for an hour.
Yeah.
An hour.
bet.
It for some reason, the heat of the grilled cheese made the Carolina Reaper. It wrecked me. It wrecked me for days.
Well, the
I was
funniest
afraid
part-
to eat for a while.
The funniest part was he did what I would do, and he went to the refrigerator for cheese to ease the pain in his mouth. But when he just grabbed more of the
It was
Carolina
Reaper
Reaper
cheese. Yeah, exactly. Dude, it was bad. It was bad.
Oh
So
my
I do not
gosh.
do hot well, so we're not going there.
Ditto.
So let's
Ditto.
get
lay it on me.
let's get into it. I'm going with Steve with this.
I don't
one.
like how
So
you
the,
said that.
the UK just released the Whopper Dorito. It's supposed to taste like a Whopper, the Dorito chip,
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
which doesn't sound too bad. I like a Whopper, so I don't have a problem with it. I find it weird that it's a Dorito. So in my research, I went to another one. So I went to Japan, and they have taco with lime.
Huh.
So think about that. Like if you have a
Japan
taco and lime,
Had
yeah,
taco.
Japan.
Taco with-
okay,
Taco
that's a
with
little
lime,
weird.
which is really weird because the Far East has a lot of Mexican
Yeah,
culture,
that's
that's
bizarre.
wild.
and that creeped me out in itself. They like tacos over there, apparently.
That's wild. Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
I do like a Whopper.
Oh yeah.
My concern here would be, I think I've mentioned before, there's a thing, part of, and I actually learned, believe it or not, I learned this from a patent case. There's a difference between taste and flavor.
Yes, absolutely.
You have
Interesting.
flavor.
Absolutely.
Taste encompasses flavor,
Yeah.
but it also brings in other things like texture.
Aha.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
I can
You're
tell you,
absolutely
Jelly
right.
Belly makes a jelly bean that tastes or that has the flavor of buttered popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Spot on.
Mm-hmm.
But the texture of a jelly bean makes the taste terrible.
It's not
Because it's like you're eating a 10-day-old stale piece of popcorn.
God, that's
Makes-
weird.
So
Yeah.
my
Makes
fear
sense.
here would be the flavor would be a Whopper, but the texture of a chip, which would be really kind of weird, but I'm going to go with the Whopper instead of the taco.
nice.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
Whopper
Whopper moved on.
Dorito it is.
Interesting.
So taco with lime from Japan is eliminated.
All right.
So we're gonna go to Matt for this one. So we're gonna go
Okay.
back to Japan because they have an obsession with tacos.
Okay.
Super spicy mayhem taco Dorito from
Okay.
Japan, and it's gonna go up against the Mexican Dorito pizza rolla, which is supposed to taste like a pizza roll. So a Dorito that tastes like a pizza roll, or a taco from Japan that is super spicy.
Okay, so I have a personal vendetta against anything spicy because I will sweat my ever loving pores out whenever I eat something hot and spicy. This is interesting because it's Mexican. You got a Mexican pizza roll. So that's probably got
what is a pizza roll? Like, are you talking like
Yeah,
the
like a
ones you get at the
Tostino.
supermarket?
Yeah, like a
to-
Tostino. Yeah, like it's
not
supposed to be like
Tostino,
a whatever,
Tokino. Wait, Tokino.
whatever they're called.
Yeah, whatever.
Tokino?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
So it's the thing you buy. It's frozen. It's like a
Yep.
pizza in a. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It burns the shit out of your mouth because no matter if you microwave it
Yeah,
for
'cause
30
the-
seconds or 2
Yeah, the
hours,
sauce
it's
is
gonna be
too
as hell.
hot, and yeah.
It's too hot and it squirts in your mouth when you bite it.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go with the pizza roll one. Johnny.
Okay, pizza rollas from Mexico.
Only
moves
because
on.
I think the Japanese would probably have a little bit more kick to the
I think
heat.
so. Yeah.
And I think that would probably go, you know what? If I had to make a choice, I'll go my instinct was Mexican pizza roll, like almost immediately, to be perfectly honest. The moment you said it. So I was like, I'll go with that one.
I find it weird that Japan has all the Mexican taco ones. But yeah.
I would
Yeah,
try
really.
the taco lime one, actually. The one if I
Yeah,
had to make that
yeah.
choice, I would probably go with the taco lime. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's go north to Canada for Steve.
All right.
Zesty cheese. It did not say what kind of cheese. It just said zesty cheese Dorito. It didn't. It
Interesting.
didn't have.
Well, that's not helpful at all. It could be Limburger for all I know. I mean,
You
geez.
probably have like a collage of cheeses.
Think
That'd
of
be my
being
guess.
standard
Yeah.
cheese. It's not anything.
Yeah.
It's not anything exotic for Canada.
Okay,
Trust me.
and it's
Canada does
All
not
right,
do.
That's true too.
And we're gonna
all right, so
go.
what's it going up
over,
against?
we're gonna go over to Korea and do the oven roasted chicken Dorito.
Oh,
Oven roasted chicken.
Korean too.
Yes. Yes.
Korean.
So think
Oh.
about Korean. I don't know if you had a ton of Korean food, but they're very flavorful. Their chicken
are.
is probably more flavorful than most of from the Far East.
Well, I'm not. Despite what I did with the Whopper, I'm not really a fan of my chips tasting like meat.
That is
So
true. That is
I'm gonna
true.
go with the cheese one.
Okay.
I'll go
Canada
with the
moves
zesty
on.
cheese.
Okay. Zesty
Interesting.
cheese. We don't know what
I did
zesty
the
cheese-
first. Yeah, the first bracket it was actually 2 meats, so I kind of
Yes.
couldn't. But now that I've got a cheese versus a meat, I'd rather have my chip taste like cheese
Cheese
because
as
you eat
opposed
like
to
cheese puffs or Cheetos or something, versus a chip that tastes like meat. That's just weird.
would be an interesting, like, mind-numbing thing to have to eat a chip that is oven roasted chicken.
Yeah.
And think about
Just
because
think
there's
about that.
probably
Yeah.
there's probably no meat in it. So think about what the kind of chemicals they had to put in it to get it to taste like meat.
That is my fear of this, and that's why I bring this up because I don't know. I have
Yeah,
no
exactly.
idea.
All right, John.
All right,
What do you
let's
got for
move
the-
on. Matt, we've got coming out of China. We have garlic shrimp,
Oh God.
a
Okay.
Dorito that tastes like garlic shrimp.
What's it going up against, Johnny?
Penny.
But you had this all set. What's going on?
It's a list. I'm working on it. It's gonna go.
Something
It's
tells
gonna-
me before you say it. Something tells me the minute Matt heard it comes out of China, he was already made up. For that.
I'll give you another China one. Smoking barbecue. So we got China versus China here.
So you got garlic shrimp on one, and what was the second?
Garlic shrimp and smoking barbecue.
What
Made
makes it
spe-
different than a
made-
regular barbecue?
Made
chip here?
specifically for China. It's made in China. It's
Interesting.
for to smoke whatever smoking barbecue would be in China would be the Dorito.
See, and I'm thinking Chinese food. I don't know if they cook. They shrimp, right? They usually cook shrimp. I would think.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge one. Yeah.
But the garlic would probably be weird to taste.
And don't forget, you're eating chips. You're not eating.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
not eating the meal.
Yeah, and that has me a little worried. I think I'm going to go with the second one, Johnny. The
The smoking
smoked
barbecue.
barbecue. Yeah. That I think would have some more. They would
That
have,
at least
probably have a
sounds
little
like
bit
a
better
chef.
flavor than the other one. Whereas like you've got a seafood and then garlic on top of it. It's like, I'm not so sure that would really go down well.
On a chip.
On a chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a chip. Yeah.
Let's remember to put that in there.
Yes.
At least the barbecue sounds like a chip, right?
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
That
Yeah.
is so true.
Yep.
We have this versus that. I'm a little lost. Sorry, I forgot to write down one, so I'm a little lost here.
Uh-oh.
I'll find it. Don't
It
worry.
was the Whopper.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah.
Whopper. Matt, what did you choose before?
Oh gosh. I had
Did the Pizzarilla and
Yeah, I had the
Ate
pizza, roll.
Pizza
I had the
roll.
pizza roll.
yeah, the pizza roll, and then the barbecue is the next one, right?
And the barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I had Whopper and zesty cheese from Canada.
I
there
got
you go.
ahead of myself. So I thought I was a larger tournament than I was having. So we were good. So we were going to put the Whopper for
Okay.
Steve. We're putting the Whopper against the barbecue chip from China.
Oh. Wow.
Okay, this is for me.
Yes.
Whopper or the
Um,
barbecue? Interesting.
As,
Yes.
as I pointed out, the barbecue sounds like a chip. However, I hate barbecue chips.
Yep, I understand.
So I would actually
Fascinating.
go with the Whopper chip.
So the
I've
Whopper
known
is
you for
moving.
over 20 years. I don't think I've
Yes.
ever heard you admit that you hate barbecue chips. That's wild.
I don't like barbecue chips. I don't like barbecue sauce.
I understand.
It's not for
yeah.
me.
So,
it's-
okay, not a fan of that. So I'm not going to take you to Mission Barbecue then. Okay, cool. All
No,
right,
do
good
not.
lunch.
Do not. It's like I'll have the baked chicken with asparagus. Like,
Yeah.
that's-
Exactly.
I understand that. There are some barbecue that I love. There are some barbecue I absolutely do not.
Yeah.
So it is.
I can see that. Yeah. All right, John. So then.
Plus, it came out of China, so that's
Exactly. Booting China out of the contest. So
There you go.
we've got Mexico versus Canada, Matt. The world, the North America's fate is
Yeah. It's in
right
my
here.
hands here.
You have
gosh, got the
zesty
pizza roll
cheese.
versus zesty cheese.
Yeah, zesty cheese where there is no cheese on the
Yeah.
it's just natural cheeses. So
Yeah, so I've probably got your 5 cheese flavors here, and all that kind of deal. The zesty
Yeah.
cheeses versus a pizza roll. I'm going pizza roll.
pizza roll.
Pizza roll. Yeah.
Nice.
You know why? I think because it reminds me of like the combos, the pizza, because they have a pepperoni pizza.
That's what I thought too. That's what
It's
I thought
usually
too
pretty
when I
good.
saw it. I was like, I think I would enjoy that because I like a good pizza roll.
Yeah,
A good combos pizza.
yeah,
It was always good.
yeah. Exactly.
All right, so we've got the finals here.
Oh boy.
So it's Matt's pizza rolla versus Steve's Whopper.
Oh boy.
By the
we're
way, I just looked up the zesty cheese Doritos.
Does it have?
It
cheese on
says
it?
created with a blend of Parmesan and cheddar flavor, which I could get behind. That's
See,
that's
I totally
good.
went past that because zesty cheese seems like more than 2 cheeses.
Yeah, you're
So it
adding
was
a
like
few other
it gave
flavors
me
in
like
there.
vague cheeses. I was like, okay, so it's cheese flavored. That's how I felt about it.
Well, there's probably something to give it a kick. That's
There you
not
go.
Yeah.
cheese related.
I love cheese. So if I definitely would try. I definitely would
There you
try a simple cheese.
So we're texting this to you,
But
Johnny.
that's
of our
not what.
quotes?
Oh yeah, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it in the group chat here, and then
All right.
we will. You want the Whopper
send
or
it
the
to you.
pizza rolla? Okay.
Oops.
Got one.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to make sure I'm sending it to the right John.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, please don't send it to the other because I won't get that. Some dude working over a mile away will get that.
John kicked his
He's-
iPhone
John-
into the Pacific Ocean. Yeah.
Already
Kicked his
shut my
iPhone into
phone
the
down.
Pacific. He kicked it into the Pacific and got a Samsung ChatGPT phone.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. No, definitely did not get it. Oh, this is hard. Now I got to make the decision. Okay, so
Oh,
Steve
wow.
went Whopper, Matt went
Ooh.
pizza roll.
There you go.
Ooh.
So what do you think,
I'm
Johnny?
gonna go Mexican pizza roll because that
Oh.
reminds me of the combos, and that is gonna be the winner.
The combos.
There you go. Over the top.
Combos
There
pizza
you
is
go.
one of my favorite things of all time. So
At least
Especially
you didn't
after-
say, at least you didn't say Elios because
Yes.
that was
Yeah. Yeah.
I-
exactly.
That was
our
gross.
friend Liam turned us on to this after we would ref all day in a parking lot of asphalt and be tired and everything. Liam would
Yeah.
always go to the gas station and get me the pizza combos with a Pepsi,
Oh.
and that would be my lunch for the day. After me and Steve sweated our asses off making sure children had a place to play. So it's a fond memory. It's a fond memory.
Oh yeah. There you go. There you go.
All right, so the pizza roll Mexican Doritos wins the weirdo chip tournament.
Yes.
Got it.
There you go.
All right,
Love
and
it.
with that, we conclude episode 132
Wow.
of Two Noobs Talking. Believe it or not, gentlemen, we've got 3 more to go. I mean, wait.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
we've hopefully got hundreds more to go.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
For all of our loyal listeners and viewers out there. Is there anything you want to gaslight those people with before we get out of here?
Two Noobs Talking at WordPress.com. Check our website out. We try really hard and get you. You don't need to go to YouTube. You don't need to go to social media if you don't like any of that. If you're seeing us on Spotify and you don't want to go over to YouTube, we link everything to our website so you can just find us there and you don't have to go to, the BS through the BS of having an account with Facebook to see us.
There you go.
Is that Two Noobs at or Two Noobs dot?
Two Noobs dot WordPress.com.
Dot, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
thought I heard you
Two
say
Noobs
at.
Talking
I was
dot
like,
WordPress.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's Two Noobs Talking .wordpress.com.
There you go.
Yeah. You should let Matt the professional handle that one.
Yes, I totally.
Two
He's got
Noobs
that
Talking
one, yeah.
.wordpress.com for all of your
There you
Two
go.
Noobs needs. There you go.
Let's just throw that up on the screen as we're
Yeah,
getting,
there you go.
as we're getting out of here.
Already done. Post-production already done. There you go.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Matt, anything further to say for you?
No.
All right.
Although now I really want to get a Samsung phone. I don't know why.
There you go.
I don't know.
I'm
why.
gonna start a rumor.
Sweet.
I'm gonna start a rumor as we get out of here. Matt hates Whoppers and Samsung. Let's just leave that right there. In a year, we'll come back and Matt will be the biggest hater of Whoppers and Samsung.
Gaslighting at its finest, gentlemen. Until next time, we say see you later.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Two Noobs Talking. Not only can you listen to our entire catalog here on YouTube, but you can also download us on your favorite podcast listening platforms, such as Apple, Google, and Samsung podcasts, along with iHeartRadio and others. Have a great week, and we look forward to delivering another episode of Two Noobs Talking. Take care.